In this video, we're going to add a gradient background to a section using CSS in system.io. So let's jump on in. I'm inside a tool called CSS gradient.io. I'll drop the link on the screen as well as in the description. So this is how the tool looks when you log in. There are a few other features here, but we're going to be on the home screen where we have a gradient that you can see here. Now, this is a linear scale. On the left, you have the 0, and on the right, you have 100. And you can add as many color points you want in between the 0 and 100. And that is represented here as well in the right-hand side. You have the 0, it's called as the stop. So 0, 33, 66, 100. That's what we have here, 0, 33, 66, and 100. And each point represents a color. So basically what happens is it starts from this color at 0 and it proceeds to add a gradient which ends in this color at 33, which is about 1/3 of the scale. And from this color it moves on to this color, which is happening at 2/3 of the scale. And from this color it moves on to this color, which happens at the end of the scale. Now it's easy to add a color point here. You just hover your mouse on this entire band of color gradient that you have and click here, and it adds a color point here. So it already auto populates it. Now if you don't want this or you want to change the color, you can easily change it. Let me show that here. Let me just add a black so that it is really visible. So now if you see, there's a black band in our gradient that has got added because of this color. Now let's say you don't want this, you can easily remove it as well by just clicking on this into here. That removes it and it restores it back. Now there are a couple of other things as well. There's a linear gradient and a radial gradient, but now this is a linear gradient. A radial gradient will have concentric circles. That's what you see here. And even within the linear gradient, you can decide which side your gradient is moving towards. Let me just change this 90 to here. Now if you see, the entire gradient has changed the way the gradient looks. Let me quickly bring it back to 90 because that's what I want. And if you scroll down, it automatically has populated the entire CSS code for this. So I'm going to copy this code, and as I hover my mouse over the copy button as well, it shows how the gradient is going to look. I'm going to hit copy and I'm going to go back to my CSS editor. For that, I enter into my funnel editor first. I'm going to swap this black color here for the gradient that we have. To do that in system.io, you just scroll down all the way down to the left list of elements, and we're going to drag this raw HTML onto our editor and drop it here. Now we have this HTML element here. I'm going to click on this, and as I click on it, I can see edit code option on the left hand properties. I'm going to click on that edit code button, which will help me open up the code editor. Now it already has something here. I'm going to just select this and delete it, and in order to enter an CSS code, you have to type in style. So that's what we're going to type in within angular brackets, and as soon as you finish it, it will automatically populate the /style. So if you're new to CSS and HTML, you don't need to worry about it. But if you're already a user, you know that you need a /style or a /code for every function that you're opening. So we have that here. What we're going to do is we need the CSS ID, which we will get to in a moment, and we're just going to paste the entire thing that we grabbed from the previous page or the previous tool, which was the CSS gradient. So I'm just going to slightly align everything. It's not a necessity, but I like it this way. Now the CSS ID, let's get that. So let me just hit on save for this, and when I hit on save, it closes that specific pop-up. Now we just navigate to the specific section that we want, for which we want to change the color. So we're going to scroll all the way down and choose this section here, this specific thing which states HTML attributes. We're going to copy this, and then we're going to again navigate our way back to the raw HTML, and we're going to click on edit code, and we're going to replace this CSS ID with the one that we have copied, but don't forget to add a hash sign in front of that. Only then it will work. If you want this code and more such CSS codes, you can join my free community by heading to the link that you see on the screen and join my free community. You'll also find the link in the description. So this is my free community, and once you join and you can read all the featured posts, then head over to the Learnings tab where you will find all the free resources. So these are some of the free resources that are there at the time of recording this video. And if you see there, here is the CSS bundle for SIO. Once you go inside this, you will find all the CSS code. Now, this is a growing library, so be sure to check back in as new content drops in regularly. So once we have done that, let's hit on the save button. Now, let's hit on this entire thing. Now, if you see, it has changed the entire color, so we are saving the entire funnel. Let's look at the preview of this funnel, and we will be able to see the gradient that we have designed for this. So if you like the video, do hit like and follow us for more. Bye-bye.